I was like, I've had troubles with my thyroid before. Maybe it's that. It could be his thyroid. Can we check? Can we really look? Because he kept just like writing me off, and he was like, it should go away with time. And he tried a steroid, remember, babe? And he tried an antibiotic, and I felt like they were using my baby like a guinea pig, and was just like, try this and try this. Well, finally I put my foot down, and I was like, I need some answers. And he gave us a referral to an ENT specialist. What's up, guys? Mom and Dad here, and little son Zeus. He's having a rough day. He had a shot today. Yeah. But he's not the only son of ours that's going to be having a rough day. So we kind of got some, I don't know if I want to call it bad news, because it's good to know about it, you know, and to know about it early. So I guess since August, David has been complaining about his throat bothering him. And I guess at first we thought it was something minor or simple, like sore throat or common cold or something like that. And then his dad took him to the doctor, and they thought it was swollen glands. And they told him to just suck on like sour things like lemon heads and I don't know, like just sour candies, right? So his dad sent him back over to me with a bunch of sour candy stuff, and of course David loved that, any excuse to eat candy, right? So after a couple of weeks, nothing changed, and this was around the time that Daniel was still out of the country.
They thought it was because he was wearing shorts to school and all this other stuff.
When it was cold.
And kids were just being kids.
But it had nothing to do with that. It wasn't like, it wasn't a sore throat thing. It was more of a pain thing. And so as we kept getting David to explain what was wrong or what he was feeling, we heard that it was more of a pain and not sore throat vibes.
During basketball season.
Right. So when Daniel got back in town, he took him to the doctor. Or I took him to the doctor before then. I'm sorry. I took him to the doctor, to his regular doctor, and I was like, look, that sour thing is not working, and my baby's having a hard time. And I said, there's something wrong. Like, I've had troubles with my thyroid before. Maybe it's that. It could be his thyroid. Can we check? Can we really look? Because he kept just like writing me off, and he was like, it should go away with time. And he tried a steroid, remember, babe? And he tried an antibiotic, and I felt like they were using my baby like a guinea pig, and was just like, try this and try this. He prescribed him antibiotic and a steroid. Those didn't work. So we went back a third time. When we went back that third time, I took him the third time.
I was home by now.
And yes, Daniel was home by the time I took him the third time. Now this is all in a span between August and now, okay? And I took him the third time to his regular doctor, and I said, something has to be done. My son is hurting, and it would really pain him when he was being athletic.
Yeah, he asked that. And does it bother him? Does it flare up when he's doing activity? And we push him a lot this basketball season, and he was one of the main people on the team that we needed. And every time he did physical activity is when it bothered him the most.
Right.
Like, we'd call a timeout, and he'd be up there grabbing at his throat
and pushing
for something to drink or pushing on it. And because him being so athletic and us pushing him is what caused us to find it.
To catch it, yeah. And so I guess it was like around November. I put my foot down and I said, we're going to have to do something about this. You're going to have to find out what's wrong with my son. And because the doctor really just kept blowing me off. And it was like always some kind of quick fix, guys. And it was antibiotic here, steroid here, whatever.
Like even the time when I took him.
Yeah, and he was like, we could just come back and
we waited longer than we was in the doctor's office. And he was like, I've been doing this 30 years. And I'm sure it's nothing serious.
This was the second doctor by
And we
then.
went in there and he just looked at it and felt on him a little bit and sent us on our way. They didn't really... It's like I missed work for no reason. He didn't really do nothing.
Yeah, because Daniel took him to that appointment. His dad had taken him to one as well, to see the ENT specialist. And the ENT specialist, if you don't know who that is, we got a referral from our doctor to go see him, is a ear, nose, throat specialist. David, of course, sees him for the throat part. I actually see the same office for my ear, nose, and throat, all three together, for my allergies, which are really bad. But that's not what we're here about. So David went there with his real dad first, and then he went with Daniel. And like he said, we kind of felt that blown off vibe. And then I went. And I had a talk and a conversation with him. I was like, look, it's been since freaking August. And my son has had no relief. You guys can't tell me what's wrong. And he is in pain. Like, he's coming in my room saying, Mama, it hurts. I'm giving him, like, over-the-counter Advil. And this stuff is not working. So you guys need to... I have insurance. We have really good insurance, okay? So I have insurance. Do your job. Find out what's wrong with him. They're not even thinking or looking into the fact that I have a history, a pre-existing history of cancer and of having lymph nodes myself. They just took 3 out of my breast or 2 out of my breast in January. Okay, so let's do something. And I put my foot down. I said that to the doctor, and the doctor ordered an ultrasound. I took him to get the ultrasound, and that's when they saw it.
Found a mass.
And they found the mass in his throat.
And because they found it is because him being so athletic, it was in a pocket. And him being athletic, it would come out.
It popped out.
And what he would do is he would push on it and push it back in that pocket. And it'd stop bothering him. But every time he was active, it would come back out. And that's when it'd bother him. So if it wasn't for him, if we let him just play video games all day and just sit on the couch and play Fortnite, then we wouldn't have noticed it. But because we push him and we practice basketball a lot, and him playing so many games and then winning so many games for the season to last longer, it allowed us to find it, or him to find it, because he knows his body,
and he
obviously
advocated for himself a lot.
Yeah, he came to us about it, and because of that, that's how we found it.
Yeah. So we're about to call him in the room. Like I said, we haven't put this out there at all. We're about to call him in the room and talk to him about this, because now we've done an ultrasound and he has to have surgery on it. The doctor gave me a choice, and he was like, we can either do surgery or we can leave it alone and see what it does. I am not and see what it does kind of person. I've had cancer, and I found out firsthand leaving things alone allows more things to happen.
They get worse.
And they get worse. And they get bigger. And what could have been a small, tiny incision, now you have to have like a whole freaking cut
that's on the
or
neck.
something.
It's visible.
Very visible.
And that's like when she went for her doctor's appointment this last time, the doctor said, no, with your history, with your past, he said, I don't even want to do a biopsy on it and us do 2 surgeries. Let's just go ahead and get it out of there. So they should treat the son the same way. Like, why chance it? Why put him through 2 surgeries or risk waiting or prolonging it like they've been doing? Let's just go ahead and get that thing out of there.
Yeah. So they are going to test it whenever they get it out. And we are about to let David know about that information. They called and told me the results of the ultrasound over the phone. So we know everything that we need to know now. We will have to get I was going to say a C-section, not a C-section. A CAT scan in a couple of days. Yep. And we'll have to go from there. So.
And I try to build him up like he'll be the only kid that's ever had an IV or a CAT scan. I try to make him feel tough about it. Like, man, you're doing something that I ain't never done. I've never had surgery. I've never had an IV. I'm pretty healthy. I've never had a
Bentley
CAT
had
scan.
surgery, but he doesn't remember it. He was a baby.
Yeah, he was a baby. So I told him now that he's got to get a CAT scan and IV, I got to get me one too, so I can keep up with him. So it makes him feel,
Macho.
special, and he did a good thing. This is good that he found this out on his own. Mm-hmm. So that's good. We're proud of him.
So we're not going to record us telling him, only because I don't know how he's going to react. The camera may be too much, having it in his face when he finds out that he has to have surgery. I want to make sure that he's comfortable with it before I put a camera all up in his health business. When it was me and I told my health business, it was fine because I felt like somebody could learn from it and it was okay. But he's a kid, he's a minor, he's 10 years old, and he may not want everybody to see him cry or his reactions. So we'll save that piece, and hopefully we can come back to you with some content of how he feels about it. Are you gonna cry for David? Look at his face. He's about to cry for David. You did get one right there. Good dad. Good dad.
Can't let him see me cry. He thinks I'm like a superhero, so.
Yeah. But we'll all be right there when he goes in and when he gets out, you know. So we're gonna go tell him, and we'll get back with you. All right. Can you tell me why we're here?
I have this, what's it called? I forgot what it's called.
A lymph node?
Yeah, lymph node. I'm supposed to have surgery, but it's not today. We're just here to see when it's gonna be.
So where is the lymph node at?
Right here.
Right there. So we're going to do what? Cut it out? Yeah. So we're at the doctor's office today, doing his last checkup before we have the surgery. You worried at all?
Yes, very.
What's the scariest part about it?
I could die.
Oh my gosh.
There's a few chances of me dying.
You're not gonna die.
I could.
Y'all tell him he's not gonna die.
It's possible.
I literally just had a similar surgery a month ago. It wasn't on my neck though.
Yeah.
But
it was right there.
Right. But you're gonna be okay. And I'm gonna be right there the whole time.
Which way are they doing it? Are they like going like in his mouth or like?
We don't know. We're gonna talk about that today. About how the procedure's gonna be done, how long it's gonna take, all that good stuff. So he has me and his big sister with him at the doctor's office today. Dad had brought him originally, and his dad brought him once as well. And then I took him for an ultrasound last Thursday, and that's when we found out that it was a lymph node. And now we're here at the doctor's office waiting to see Dr. Joe Smith. You can see his credentials up there, who will be doing the procedure. So, yeah.
Place your fist for me. You have a teeny.
Super tiny.
Let me look at this one, and then we'll go back. I just want to make sure we get a good one.
Only want to stick you once if we can, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was telling you needed to drink plenty of water.
She just rested on down. Oh yeah, I like that one better. Can you spin your legs like this and put your arm on this? Because you're so small.
Good.
I'm good.
You did so good. Look. You did it. I mean, I definitely had to bribe you for 2,000 V-Bucks to get you to do it. But I think you could have done it without the 2,000 V-Bucks bribe, couldn't you? Yeah, you could have. It didn't even hurt that bad, did it? It didn't. See? You were just trying to take my money. Well, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. So you excited to get this over with?
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Is this thing hurts?
It hurts?
Yes.
Well, don't move too much. You don't want it to wiggle around and then pop out. I've had some pop out before and it'll blow your vein. You have a nice little bruise on your arm. But you're going to be all good, right? So, are you all at all worried?
Yeah.
What you worried about? So, like the doctor said that you'll feel like you gotta pee. But you won't have to pee. It'll just be the dye that they put in there or whatever.
I feel like I have to pee.
They haven't put anything in there yet. They'll do that when we get in the room. They're going to open that little end right there and they'll put stuff in there. You don't get stuck anymore. It's just a liquid. They'll put a liquid in there. It'll make you feel like you got to pee-pee.
Oh. I thought it was going to be like another needle.
Oh, no. That's why they do the needle part in here. So, but you got it. You're super strong. And they'll do the CT scan. We'll get the results in a few days. And we'll find out exactly what that little mass is. And then we go back and see the doctor in a few days.
And it still hurts.
It's going to hurt, puppy. Just don't bend at the elbow. Because then that makes it's not a needle that's left in there. It's like a piece of plastic that's in the vein. And it can come out of the vein. You don't want that. So don't bend the elbow until we get done with the CT scan. However long that takes. Maybe like 10, 15 minutes tops. Okay? You're doing so good though. Proud of you. Mommy's big boy. So how do you feel after that?
Well, my arm is stiff.
Mm-hmm. Was it bad? Was it bad?
What?
Was it bad? No? Yes? No. Maybe? It was okay, right? It was cool?
It hurt.
It hurt. Ah.
And I got a needle.
Yeah. Hurt. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
and hit that notification bell.
Until then, we're raising 9. See you next time.